Giga Chikadze has arrived, Chael. So he went out there against Edson Barboza, third round KO, TKO. Look, he was incredible. I give Barboza a lot of credit. He wanted to keep fighting. He wasn't thrilled at the stoppage. But Giga was in complete control here in the first round and certainly in the third round. Maybe the second round I would have given to Barboza, maybe a slight lean there. But it felt like Giga was in control throughout. And what I loved the most was the reverence he showed to Barboza, being a guy who has been in this sport and has done so much in this sport. I love that aspect of it as well.
And hey, I'll tell you what, being in there and beating Barboza is pretty tough to do. It is something we have seen before. Beating Barboza at his own game, standing toe-to-toe with Barboza, finding a way to check and block those kicks, finding a way to counter down the middle and get Barboza to quit throwing so many kicks. That's what was really surprising, at least for me. Giga came out and told the world, prior to even having the fight with Barboza, he said, I'm the greatest striker in all of MMA. He even called out Max Holloway, who many people look at for his boxing and how good he does on his feet. He was trying to get the Max Holloway fight. He doesn't end up in it. He ends up with Barboza, but he doesn't flinch in the least. Plus, he goes into a main event. So now you're starting to question, how can he do with the pressure? How can he do top of the bill? How can he do should this fight see some later rounds? I mean, look, there was a lot of boxes here that got checked. They all favored Giga. And Max versus Giga once upon a time, you really didn't know what this guy was shooting for. Now Max versus Giga, come on, if we can get that signed, George, we'd love to see it. Fair?
Yeah, listen, I'd love to see it for sure. I don't think there's any doubt about that. And look, I think Giga is the real deal. He's in very rare air starting his career at 7-0. How good do you think he can be? Could he beat Max?
I don't know that I would pick him to beat Max, but yes, could he beat him? Absolutely. Would that be a problem? Sure. If Max Holloway, a former world champion, likely a future world champion, was to get that, Max would go deep into training. He would have to study Giga. He might even look to a plan B, which is trying to get Giga down to the ground. I can see how fast Giga is. I speak to a number of his teammates. He was a karate champion. He was a sport fighting champion way back in his youth. He was like the European sport karate champion. Fill in the blank. I only share that with you because what, can he wrestle? Can he be taken down? He's from a country, he's even from a family where he's the only non-wrestler in the whole group, but his brother wrestled. So he did plenty of that in the living room. He went into the workout rooms with his cousins. He's seen this and grown up in this. He just went a little slightly different path. So anytime you have a guy like Barboza, like Giga, who gets over on Barboza, but he does it in the fisticuffs, people are going to ask the question, well, what would happen if this went to the ground? Giga can take care of himself on the ground, whether he saw it there or not. And when you bring in Max Holloway, even if we have a back and forth, I'm telling you, if that line came out today, it would only be about a 2-1 favorite for Max, which is a major compliment to Giga, considering a lot of people didn't even know who Giga was at this time a week ago.
Yeah, that's a fair point for sure.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.